Sometimes it's what you don't do that defines you. When Trump assumed office, he put the word out, "Do what I say or you're fired." And he aimed his tiny sword at the Department of Justice, even though obviously Trump knows very little about the law, justice, or the application of either, although it's fair to say he's been on the wrong end many times. But this is a story of nearly 70 attorneys from the Department of Justice who hung in as long as they could before resigning en masse. Roughly 2/3 of these DOJ lawyers who were tasked with constant legal challenges to Trump's policies quit in frustration. Around 69 of the 110 lawyers who worked in the DOJ's federal programs branch, which responds to lawsuits against the administration, have left in the last 5 months. The number is 62.7% of the branch. And why did they leave? It's called integrity. The lawyers in the unit had grown demoralized and exhausted, defending an onslaught of lawsuits against Trump's administration. One staffer put it like this: "These people came to work at the federal programs to defend aspects of our constitutional system. How could they participate in the project of tearing it down?" These career lawyers, call them patriots, they feared they would be pressured to misrepresent facts or legal issues in court, a violation of ethics rules that could lead to professional sanctions. But that's all Trump is doing, tearing things down, and it's beginning to show. But none of us should be surprised, because this is exactly what Trump promised he would do. You remember Project 2025?
On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. Unfortunately, he keeps his promises. Trump seizes control of a divided government, signing hundreds of executive orders implementing Project 2025. Trump replaces over 50,000 civil servants with hardline MAGA loyalists. The federal oath of office now requires declaring loyalty to the president, not the Constitution. Protected by the Supreme Court's grant of total immunity for official acts, Donald Trump orders the Department of Justice to arrest members of the January 6th Commission, current and former DOJ employees, and political opponents for treason, election interference, and conspiracy. He declares it to be an official act. Trump ends birthright citizenship by executive order and turns millions of American-born citizens into illegal aliens overnight.
The idea is to fill the courts with MAGA judges and the Justice Department with creeps like this guy.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state. And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
It's not a secret, and Trump's plan is simple. He wants to be, well, you know.
I want to be a dictator.
Trump has already cut via DOJ the CDC, NIH, and the FDA, the FBI, CIA, and the NSA, and the Border Patrol, turning them into faceless militia, rounding up U.S. citizens and putting them either in foreign jails or in alligator-infested cages in the Everglades.
Come and arrest him. Should he do it?
Tom Homan, the border czar, said to me yesterday he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough guy. Why doesn't he do that? And he knows where to find me. But you know what? Let your hands off 4-year-old girls that are trying to get educated. Let your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Now, arresting the governor of California would be political suicide if you didn't have the courts and the DOJ acting on your behalf. And that's what Trump has been doing for more than a year, starting back in Florida in 2024 when Trump appointee Judge Cannon delayed the documents case, effectively killing it. And this is why the lawyers are saying no mas. They can't attack the very Constitution they swore to defend. But that, of course, is integrity and honor.
A police car behind me put the lights on, so I stepped on the side, right, to let him pass through. But it didn't happen, so he just parked in front of my car, the other one parked behind me, and they just got out of the car with the guns in the hands and say, turn off the car, give me the keys, open the window. And at this point, they didn't ask me for any ID. I was telling the officer if I can give him the ID, but He said that just keep my hands up, not moving. After that, he told me to get out of the car, and then he put the handcuffs on me. And then he went to me and said, how did I get into this country? And if I was waiting for court or if I have any case. And he looked at his other partner like, smiling, like saying, can you believe this guy? At this point, I was with handcuffs sitting on the sidewalk. And then he took my ID and saw that it was a real ID. The other guy said, take the handcuffs off, take the handcuffs off. I was Trump supporter. I voted for Trump last elections, but because I thought it was going to be the things, like be pointless, like just go against criminals, not every illegal Hispanic looking like that they will assume we are illegals. That's what they're doing now. They're just following Hispanic people looking like, because they didn't ask me for anything.
Trump wants complete control and nothing but lackeys. And this isn't a one-off. These fuckers want a generational change, a theocratic state where all dissent is squashed.
If you don't like our religion, then we don't want you in our country.
There are demonic forces.
It's the enemy from within.
With the help of this cretinous turd, children would be indoctrinated like they were in the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany.
Children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools that want federal taxpayer funding.
Trump has already positioned himself with SCOTUS, with his 3 appointees, and Clarence Thomas, whose wife attended the January 6th insurrection.
Well, let me give you my view of what happened January the 6th. And we're here. We saw what happened. It was a violent insurrection.
And the Supreme Court has apparently given him complete immunity.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
It could, and why?
Now, the latest attack on our government came a few hours ago via the Supreme Court. But first, this is the Secretary of the Department of Education, Linda McMahon, one of the founders of the World Wrestling Whatever. And here she is, demurely kicking her husband in the balls. But the latest from this cabal of ball-licking cuckolds broke today with the Supreme Court giving Trump permission to destroy the Department of Education.
Got some breaking news from the Supreme Court. In a 6-3 ruling along ideological lines, the court ruled to allow the Trump administration to slash the federal workforce at the Department of Education. In her dissent, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who was joined by Justice Kagan and Justice Jackson, writes, the decision is indefensible. It hands the executive the power to repeal statutes by firing all those necessary to carry them out. The majority is either willfully blind to the implications of its ruling or naive. But either way, the threat to our Constitution's separation of powers is grave.
These attorneys who quit today, they did their best, but they can no longer be part of the slow destruction of our nation. And while it seems like Trump is on the ropes for being on the Epstein list, which he surely is, he is surrounded by the most pathetic assembly of ballless sycophants, as evidenced by this. Ghislaine Maxwell is willing to speak in front of Congress about the Epstein files. You know, the files that everybody wants to know what's in them. Maxwell is the only person behind bars, serving 20 years on child sex trafficking charges, despite the fact that pedophile Jeffrey Epstein allegedly controlled a web of underage girls and dozens of high-profile clients who were involved.
It's sitting on my desk.
Trump won't release the report, and he won't have to. I mean, who's going to make him?
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
The slow destruction of our nation by the Republican Party is underway, except that it's not that slow anymore. So, man, if you think you can just sit back and look at your 401k and everything's going to be fine, well, congratulations. That's exactly what he wants you to do.
Goddamn right.
Do you have no shame?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.